Hey everybody, nice to see you again. I'm not talking very loud because my son is sleeping and poor thing got his leg stuck in the crib and finally just got him back down. So I'm gonna be a little low in this video today. Um, Today I'm gonna be doing the story idea tag. Thank you, Clay Frazier, for tagging me. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I am excited to do this tag. And this overexposure lighting is it's super awesome. I don't know what my light is doing right now. I am a ghost. Anyway, let's get right into the tag just because I don't want to accidentally wake my son up. Okay? Number one, and this tag is about how you get your story ideas and stuff for writing, actually. So there's my little caveat before getting into it. So question number one is, what is your current story idea you're working on right now? Well, right now I am working on a young adult fantasy novel called Songs of Autumn. It's set in a fictitious medieval kingdom, and it's like an epic hero's journey type story. This light's really tripping me out. I'm looking at my face and it's very white. Question number two, do your ideas begin with characters, plot, world building, or something else entirely? Wine and bathtubs and just randomness. No, I don't have a process. When I get an idea, I just try really hard to write it down, because I'm scared I won't remember it or whatever. But it can be inspired by pretty much anything. I don't specifically start with saying oh, this is a character I'd like to write, or oh, I'd like to write scenery like this. It sort of just all kind of comes together in the spur of the moment and develops as the project develops. Question number three, how do you puzzle piece your story elements together? Poorly. No. Do you start with the ending and make your way to the beginning, or vice versa? No, I normally start with the beginning. I normally kind of know the catalyst moment right at the beginning. The inciting incident is kind of what I know. And so sometimes I back up a day or so before and give backstory or whatever, or sometimes you just start with the inciting incident, and drop people into the world or whatever. But I always kind of know the inciting incident, and I know how it ends. And so the process of writing for me is figuring out how to get from point A to point B effectively. Yeah. So yeah, I know the inciting incident and the end, and that's it when I start writing. Number four, how do you know when you want to keep or dump a story idea? I never dump a story idea. Sometimes I table story ideas and put them back in the vault and wait until I need inspiration or want to write something along that vein. I've had story ideas working story ideas for probably more than 10 years, that I don't think that I'm a good enough writer to execute yet. Or this story started off as a science fiction novel that I was writing, and I decided to just set it in a new place randomly. And so yeah, I don't ever dump a story idea. It's just, am I working on that currently or not? Is it going to be the story at the end as it is at the beginning? The idea and end product might not be the same thing. It might change and evolve over the years. But I never dump story ideas. I just table them until later. Yeah, because all ideas are good ideas. Question number five, how much of your original idea for your story is actually used once everything is finished? Very little. Very little. I always think I know what I'm writing, and then my characters prove otherwise throughout the process when they take over and just do the things that they want to do without asking me first. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. Question number 6. Do you share your book ideas with friends or keep them secret? Nice little unhealthy combination of both. No, I do share ideas, but I don't do it often or well. That's probably something I need to work on. Like when people ask me about my writing and stuff, I get very nervous and tongue-tied and don't really know what to say. Even though I'm passionate about it, it's really hard for me to like open up to other people about story ideas and stuff, just because I think I'm scared of like being invalidated, like that they'll look at me like, oh my god, what do you mean you're writing a book about mermaids in space? What are you, psycho? Like, so I struggle with that. But I do pretty well with like once I have written something, but if it's just an idea, I have a really hard time like explaining it. I have a really hard time selling the idea because I don't fully know what it is yet. Like it's not an actual story yet. I don't know the ins and outs. I haven't discovered the theme. Like it hasn't evolved yet. So it's hard for me to share ideas, I guess, as opposed to finished products. Those are easier for me. Let's see. Number 7, have any of your book ideas originated from a dream/nightmare? Yes. Lots of them from nightmares. I have a lot of story ideas actually that I just I don't read a lot of horror, but I feel like they're very dark themed and that they would fit more in like the horror genre, and I would like to learn more about that before writing. Like I don't think I'm strong enough of a writer to write a lot of those ideas, but they're very interesting to me. Like a lot of very complicated like characters and things like that, and a lot of really just dark situations and horror themes and stuff like that, and very suspenseful from my nightmares, obviously. But yeah, I one day I will write them, and I hope that they are good. But I have a ton of story ideas from dreams/nightmares. Some of my ideas are more like, they're not like set in stone, like solid things. Like it's more like a feeling, or like the general sense of a personality trait for a character or something that like you just kind of remember a little bit from a dream, and then you sort of indicate that. Or maybe an idea for a scene or a line in a scene that's kind of funny from a dream, not like a nightmare dream. But yeah, I have some story ideas that I have tabled, like I said before, that are like real scary from my nightmares. So there's that to look forward to. Let's see what's next on here. Number 8, have you ever had an idea but then seen a similar premise in a book /TV show /movie? All the time. All the time. I think this is true of everybody, because there's only a few different like story archetypes that you can go through, like a hero's journey, or rags to riches, or the theme of death and rebirth, or whatever. And there's only so many ways you can tell so many types of stories before it starts to seem like you're finding parallels everywhere. And there is this thing called intertextuality, where the things that you read or see or whatever are really popular works of fiction, like very prevalent things like Shakespeare's work, or Jane Austen, or the Bronte sisters, or Stephen King, or Game of Thrones, or Harry Potter. Like these things are so prevalent and so widespread that of course they're going to affect the literary genre that you write in. So like, yes, there are going to be parallels to certain other things. It's just making sure that you aren't, how do I want to put this? That if you're inspired by something, that's different than copying something, basically. So if it has the same premise, that's fine, I would say. Just make sure you do it in your way, write it your way, and you should be fine. As long as it's not like the same exact characters and the same exact storyline and all of that, to where it can really, really, I mean, there's a line, and it's sort of a gray area line sometimes, and sometimes it's very defined and black and white, and you just kind of have to navigate that. But I think that we're influenced by the things around us, and that yeah, I think we're influenced by things around us. And so I think that there's a little bit of inevitability that something that you write may be similar to something else. I think that's really inevitable. Let's see. Number 9. Have any of your favorite movies / TV shows sparked ideas for scenes in your book? Yes. Again, there have been times where I've seen a movie or a TV show, and let's say there is this strong, confident female character, and it really spoke to me and it inspired me and it lit something up inside of me, and I wanted to write a strong, independent female character. That's different than like copying the same exact thing. So yes, there have been movies, TV shows, books, parts of my life, people that I know in real life that have inspired bits and pieces of the story that I'm writing now, stories I've written in the past, stories I will write in the future. I think that also is something that we as authors always strive to do is, you know, we take in the world around us and we interpret it and we internalize it, and then we use writing as therapy. We use that as a way to explore things within our own lives, in our own worlds, and to make sense of things sometimes. And so of course that outside stuff that's influencing you is going to bleed into there subconsciously somehow. But yeah, so definitely I've been inspired by tons of stuff, you know, just external things that have inspired and influenced my writing. Number 10, and the last question, what's the oldest / first story idea you remember coming up with or writing down? I think I talked about this in my newbie tag video. I think the first story I ever like wrote down, I hand wrote in this journal. It was about this girl who lived in this enchanted forest and was friends with like mermaids and fairies and like centaurs and unicorns and stuff. She was like the only like human person who lived there, and she like grew up there, and so nothing was weird about that. And then like this dude shows up one day and is like, hey, this stuff's pretty cool, but I'm going back to like human town. It's not what it was called, but you know, just being sarcastic. And she was like, oh, I want to come with you or whatever. And that's the story, is she like left enchanted forest to be normal, and that was cool. I don't know. That was it. Or I was like into the whole, I love Batman a lot. And I wrote a bunch of like Batman fan fiction, but they were like original stories with original characters. It was just like set in like the Batman universe or whatever. So maybe that was the first one I wrote down. That one I think was on a floppy disk, and the other one was handwritten in a journal, but I can't remember like which one came first. So yeah, those are my story idea questions. They were hard hitting. I don't think I gave very good answers to a couple of them. Sorry, Clay Frazier, but thank you again for tagging me. That was super cool. I'm going to go ahead and tag, let's see, AS Howell. It's your turn, girl. As well as Cassie BB and my girl Nicole Mckeon. I want to hear how y'all get y'all's story ideas. So yeah, your turn now. Also, if you want to tell us how you got your story ideas, then you tag your it as well. Anyway, thank you for watching this, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys. Oh, also, you should like and subscribe the video. I always forget that part. Anyway, have a nice night.